Hi, good morning. Welcome to my channel. I am Thomasin PA 2066. Today is 18th of May 2023. I would like to attract your attention to a question that I guess a new negotiator always asks. So why is this profession regulated? Why are the job as a negotiator regulated? Are they over regulated? Is there a way that do away with the firms and do away with the registered estate agent, and every negotiator operates an individual firm when they come out as a business instead of being a regulated profession? So let me begin. Hi, welcome to my channel. Video taking 155. Frequently asked question in real estate. Negotiators over-regulated. Episode 7. This is a question that new aspiring ambitious negotiators, when they join the industry, they will be thinking that why can't they just run the business as a firm owner, why can't they do it as an individual firm owner and having to comply with the law and being a small partner of a registered firm, and then have to kowtow or have to be under a registered estate agent. Why can't they do it independently and take all the commission themselves? After all, it is their right as a rice bowl as to control everything. They do everything from the beginning until the end. Why can't they just be like any other jobs where they can take all the earnings from their sweats and their work, their difficulty in facing the customer, their solution that they provide to the customer? Why can't they be like just a car mechanic or just a electrician? They take all the responsibility and charge their fee and make 100% commission. So this is the question. I think it's all in the mind of the salespeople, and I would like to take this video taking to explain this. I am Thomasin PA 2066. Today is 18th of May 2023. So the common question asked is like this: why I need to be registered as a negotiator or under a firm or under a registered estate agent? Why is so lancy? Why is so pack up this registered estate agent? Why there is a rule that says that I have to be registered under a person and I have to be under a supervision of a firm or a registered estate agent? How come my auntie, uncle who are doing this job as a broker for ages and they are doing it fine, they make good money and nobody controls them? Why can't I be just like them? And if there's no negotiator number, I just do my job. It doesn't actually affect my work to deliver my service to my customers. Why is this number so important? I just advertise. Who wants to see my advertisement? Who wants to come forward? Let them. Why you want to control? Why the system is so controlling and I become under somebody who is lazy person in office? So there is no need of a company. No need. So there are people who have this type of thinking. So why is it so that this system has been in place? So I like to disclaim the law of the land, and in this case the land related transactions, estate agency practice is involved, in how these laws affects you. So I disclaim that I am not a lawyer, and consult your lawyer, as whatever I provide material here, they do not constitute legal advice. Okay, the legal position in the law for negotiator is found in the section 22C, subsection 2 and subsection D of the Valuer, Appraiser, Estate Agent and Property Managers Act. So this is the law that regulates this profession, and this profession in the earlier days has never been a name called negotiator. So there was never a person called negotiator in the law until end of 2017, which is gazetted in January 2018 under the Act, this VAEP Act. They usually call it the Act 242. So in this law, it says that a negotiator may assist the registered estate agent in the estate agency practice. and there is inserted another subsection 2A that says that for the purpose of paragraph 2D, which refers to the earlier paragraph, that the negotiator means a person who is employed by a registered estate agent to assist him in the estate agency practice. So this is something which a lot of negotiators they don't want to accept. They don't want to accept the fact that they have to be under somebody called registered estate agent. Why is so great about this registered estate agent? Why the industry need to have a registered estate agent? So this is something which in the law there is a purpose. So let me explain for the benefit of the listener and the visitor to my website. So the negotiator in the business of estate agency practice, are they overly regulated? This is a question that I want to maybe strike a discussion. So this discussion part is that, okay, put aside business of making money. Let's say it's not an issue about money. When you regulate an industry for the purpose of money, that is wrong. So in fact, doctors are regulated also not because you want to make doctors rich so that doctor can make more money, but it's because when the public are exposed to risk of taking medicine wrongly and being prescribed wrongly, and the public can be misled to follow certain types of really wrong treatment and end up having risk of health or even risk of dying. Therefore, the profession need to be regulated. So the idea is the regulation is there to protect the innocent public. It is not to make certain people rich or make certain people having to work for others. It is to make the public, in a sense, a fair play for a fair treatment to the public. So if you're not a trained doctor, you cannot be delivering a medical service. You are not a trained nurse, you cannot be administering injection. So that is what is in the law, because this act of practice can have harm, can cause harm to the innocent public. So that is the reason of the basis of the regulation. So would you think that when a negotiator is not regulated, that it doesn't cause any harm, then it should not be regulated at all? So if it is regulated, that means that the job of a negotiator can cause harm to public. So are the negotiators are over-regulated? In this discussion, we want to come in to discuss. So the issue at hand and the argument is that if there is no registered estate agent, there is no negotiator in the market, and we are back to like 40-50 years ago where there is no law to regulate the industry, what would happen to the industry? So this is the issue. So this is the issue that today I want to use a certain example to show it to you, to explain this scenario in a more on the ground situation. So I would use a situation of a bus company or train company, or a situation of crossing a river. Then you need to go on a port. Then you need to buy a ticket. So let us see. Before I proceed, just to attract the attention to a few things about a negotiator on the part of how do you actually see a negotiator. Negotiator is given the name a negotiator or a senior negotiator by the board of valuer appraiser, estate agent and property managers. So this refers to circular 11/22. So this is 11/22 means 9 of May 2022. They actually emphasize again that negotiator should be called negotiator or a senior negotiator only. They cannot be called any other name. The reason is the public doesn't know who they are, so they will call themselves all kinds of names. Sales consultant, property consultant, property advisor. They can be even labeled as president of certain company and president of certain organization, and try to sell either their listing or sell their products. So all these are abuse or misleading in the public. So that part the board needs to take action. And it also mentioned here that in the last paragraph, the board also wishes to warn registered estate agents that a disciplinary action will be taken against any registered estate agent who is found to have sublease. Sublease here means that you have the permit to operate the license agency, and then you sublease, you let another person the rent to actually run your agency. So this is sublet. In this case is actually wrong. It's just like a clinic where a doctor disappears and getting a nurse to run the clinic. So this is really a serious matter. So in the case that this happens, as you are being actually cheated, how public goes to a clinic and then now in the clinic there is no doctor, but then the nurse is giving treatment like a doctor. So that is abuse of his practice. So this is a situation very seriously looked into by the regulatory body. And for the reason that now today's discussion, we were thinking if there is no regulation, then everybody is a doctor. Everybody is a registered agent. What would happen? Let us look at that. Can we have all rents become a registered estate agent? That means we just let them listen to today's NCC course and everybody operate their own firm, and then the system would operate as it is, as like today. Then all the negotiator all become registered estate agent and all will have firms. So suddenly we have maybe 40,000-50,000 firms in whole Malaysia. So what would happen if such thing becomes the situation? So this one is like when you look at the taxi company. So at one time, you can say that a lot of the taxis that go to airport to fetch passengers, and they are all driving taxi under a syarikat. So these are called taxi companies. So the taxi company gets a permit to form a taxi company, and the syarikat taxi, which usually at the back there is some politician. They say there's some politician, so they will have hundreds of taxi under that syarikat. The reason is they say that taxi drivers are hard to control because they simply charge or they simply don't follow rules. So they will have the syarikat that to take action against the taxi when the regulator, either the JPJ or the regulator or the consumer group report a complaint, then the regulator would take action against the syarikat, and then the syarikat is a registered company which to take action against the driver. So let's say somebody has lodged a complaint onto this driver, then the next day is that the syarikat would fire the driver. So the syarikat can actually restore the driving to a higher level, to a better level. So this is what is seen in the sense control. But on the other hand, a lot of the drivers are unhappy because they say that I work so hard for the day of job, and every time I really drive and risk my life in the sense of beat the jam and trying to get my passenger and try to earn a living. Actually, I only earn so little. Bulk of my pay, and in fact, it's been given back to the company. I am shortchanged in that sense. I am doing a hard labor job. Why can't the Ministry of the Road Transport or the ministry that regulates the taxi actually will regulate me directly without going through the syarikat? So it's like, well, why can't the board of the regulator regulate an individual driver? In fact, then comparing as a individual to a company or a syarikat of taxis. So this is a question quite sensitive and also politically motivated for certain party to have the syarikat to make money. Of course, in the case of profession, like in the sense of our real estate profession, then should you just do away with all the firms and just give individual negotiator their direct control of the business? So this is the issue of business or profession. So if it is a business, then you may want to do that because it's a fair competition. But if it is at the detriment of the public, at the detriment of public, whereby everyone just simply do their things and you cannot regulate them. So in the case of the taxi, for example, then individual taxi simply charge. They simply don't follow the rules, and the public cannot go after them because they are individuals. Whereas in the case of a driver of a syarikat, then if there is a complaint against the syarikat, the whole syarikat permit would be withdrawn, and the whole syarikat would have hundreds of taxis, and therefore there is impact onto the organization of the syarikat. So similarly for the estate agency practice, if one negotiator simply just spoil the market or run away or abscond the money, then if he just closed down his firm, the other one will come and do it, but the other person would also not be affected. But whereas if it is a firm of negotiators, if one of the negotiators is found like that and the whole firm has to be suspended, then there is a serious matter for the firm to really look into, and the firm will have to really take action and maintain the whole firm doing the job correctly. So this is the impact of a size, and therefore I think most of the regulatory framework is actually working on an upper level, and this is one part of the execution, but there are other factors that I am not going into too detail. One of it is imagine a driver today drives the taxi, tomorrow he doesn't drive a taxi, and then you can't get another replacement taxi at that moment. What will happen? Whereas if it is a syarikat, then today you call the syarikat sends a taxi. Tomorrow, if that taxi driver is not working, you call the syarikat will send another taxi. So there will be better service and efficiency if the syarikat is monitored well. And the syarikat cannot disappear because the syarikat has got so many workers and so many drivers. So therefore, the syarikat will be operated in a higher efficiency and a better level. So that part, compared to a single person, that is the purpose of the syarikat, of the office. So like similar to negotiator's job, if today the negotiator doesn't honor his promise, you can go to the firm and complain to the boss, and the boss has to take action against it and allocate another negotiator to solve your issue. So at least there is somewhere you can get someone to really look into the matter, rather than you will be left stand alone facing that individual person who is a recalcitrant person who doesn't want to deliver the service. So this is also a discussion point. So what we are seeing is that a firm, registered estate agent, ran, and then the public law. So the firm regulates the whole group of people, including, of course, if there are many registered agents inside the firm, then the firm would have certain control over the numbers of registered estate agent, and the whole team of registered estate agents to look after the whole group of negotiators. So if any one of the negotiators doesn't comply, then there is a risk to rock the boat. So therefore, the public can complain either to the boss up there or to the lembaga, to the board. So let us see a booking for a bus ticket. This is an example I want to highlight by using a simple way of highlighting how all this interaction happen. So bus ticket you can book. Now you can book as an online bus ticket. So online bus ticket booking become an agent. So now you are an agent of the bus company selling ticket. So let's say today you are a train conductor selling train ticket, or you are a bus conductor selling bus ticket so you are almost like a negotiator for a bus company. Tomorrow you don't want to do this job, then what happens is the bus actually still deliver the service. The bus still runs because there is the driver who can take over your job. So the registered estate agent in a company is like a driver of the bus. If the negotiator is not working, or there's no negotiator that can serve this customer, it is the right full job of the registered estate agent as a driver of the company to service the client. So he has to take that responsibility. They cannot be leaving the client or leaving the customer not attended to. Also, this is the reason why there is such a system. And if you really think about that part, if you need a ticket for a bus, you need to go up, take a ticket from the bus because you want to ensure that the bus you are coming to take the bus, you are going to board the bus, it's not a fake ticket or it's not a fake negotiator or fake agent. You need to protect your right to the money that you have paid. So in the sense of a registered estate company, estate agency firm, then there is the protection of the client's money in the client's account. So of course out there, if you let everybody become registered estate agent and let everybody have a agency firm, then there will be issue of competition, and the competition means there will be people doing fake ticket, fake agent, disappearing bus or disappearing bus company. This happens during the old days where if you are now 40 or 50 years old, then you can think back and remember those days when you were young, when you had to take bus going back for Chinese New Year, Hari Raya, or the Deepavali, or in East Malaysia, then the Gawai or the Keamatan. Then you understand the situation that the bus sometimes the tickets are sold out. Then you have to buy from the black market, the underground, and then this can be fake ticket. This can be checkout price, expensive checkout price. All these controls now in place. There should not be this type of issue with abuse of the intermediary role. So in that sense, regulatory system is supposed to protect the user or the public at large rather than protecting the agent. So if you think as a negotiator you want to control the whole business, take the 100% of commission, then it is really thinking about controlling the whole thing, and you can just take the money, booking fee, and disappear. That is at the expense of all your clients losing money. So that is not right. So therefore, the genuine ticket thing is important in a case whereby public can verify that there is a service, a bus service, or in the case for agency, that means the agency provides a agency service. The agency service here is estate agency practice, which means to sell for you, to rent your unit for you, to look for property for you, to do a consultation, to advise on property. So all these are services that is provided by the estate agency firm. So the public who deals with this agency firm needs to be assured that they are buying a service that really honors them the output, the outcome of this service. And similar to the bus company, the bus company is regulated to give the service of transportation. Then the drivers are regulated. So in the case that the driver cannot be drunk, cannot be taking drugs, cannot be abusing his position, driving recklessly on the road, the bus route are regulated as well, for the reason that you cannot be just simply driving at risk. So all these safety issues means that the buses need to be regularly checked. Similar of the case of the airplane from the flight route also is controlled by individual country. So if let's say you want to fly from Kuala Lumpur to Ho Chi Minh City, the country of destination Ho Chi Minh City must allow you to land in Ho Chi Minh City. So all that route, why can't I just simply fly to Ho Chi Minh City or simply fly to London, and the London must let me touch down? It's not like that. The country needs to regulate so that the inbound flights are regulated well, so that the routes are all controlled. So all this is for the benefit of safety and benefit of the people who are coming in. So all that just to highlight to you the similarity of regulatory in the company of transportation, like taxi, train, and the buses are actually quite similar, as they provide service of transportation. For estate agency, we are providing service of estate agency practice. So why I guess the answer here is simple. Regulated profession needs to ensure safety to the public, passengers, or in this case the vendor or the public to step forward to come into the agency is not cheated lah. The bus companies as like agency are regulated also for the goods of other road users, as well as in the case of agency firm, they are regulated for the good of the other stakeholders, regulated for the good of the developer, regulated for the good of the lawyers, the bankers, for them to actually they know that they are dealing with someone who is well versed in the industry. So the tragedy of the road accident is a reflection to let you know that why transport really need to be controlled. So similarly, estate agency practice as a negotiator need to be regulated for the money that you are going to handle across the booking, deposits, and the amount of money to put in the client's account. So rents are actually here to assist the role of assisting the estate agents. So why is it that they cannot be just simply as an estate agent? Because the estate agency practice system with a lot of laws and practice also demand knowledge. So if a person is not well trained, a person is not able to do the job, it's like a doctor who is trained for 5 years, then only he knows not to do, not to endanger the patient. Similarly, as a estate agent, you need to know the law so that you do not endanger your customer, to ask customer to do things that eventually will get the customer into hot soup difficulties. So all these things, as you know, needs a lot of study of law related matters. Not just the person disappear overnight. That means a negotiator disappear overnight and not taking responsibility. Law means here the registered estate agent and the firm has to be responsible for the client. If the client has suffered due to the negligence of the firm or negligence of the negotiator under the firm, then the firm has to be responsible. So the firm has to be there to sort out the mess that is caused by the negotiator. So therefore, the negotiator cannot be just taking over the job as a registered estate agent without training, without education, without knowing the correct thing to do. So now the market is full of people who just sit in for 2 days course, not knowing anything. Some of them actually wandering away in their daydreaming. So and yet I want to do the job as a negotiator and to be involved in handling property that costs thousands or even millions of ringgit Malaysia. And if all this mess is left behind, who is going to settle, who is going to solve all these issues? It will be the firm, the registered estate agent, who has to take up this issue, this mess that is left behind by the negotiator. So the firm has to be there, the REA has to be there. Then all this system has to be in place so that they protect the public. Of course, you will say that just buying a property from a developer, I can go direct to the developer and buy. Yes, in that case, you just go direct to the developer and buy. No need to go through the agency firm, no need to go through the negotiator. So that is not the issue of whether this system or negotiator is right or wrong. It's just that the system is there to protect the public. When you actually have a second-hand house, or you have someone who wants to look for a place to rent, so therefore it's not a developer project. So therefore the agency firm is there to serve, to offer the service, to help the client to sell or to look for a tenant or to actually get a property. So in that scenario, the system is there to protect the client. So that is the purpose of the estate agency practice, and the license of a estate agent is to do that. The developer can sell their own product. They do not actually need an agency firm. It's just that recently, because they don't want to employ their own sales team, because it's salary every month that they have to pay, and the market is subjected to the difficulty of the market due to pandemic, due to all kinds of reasons. Therefore, that the developers actually push the selling part, the marketing part of the projects to the agency firms. And agency firms are representing the developer and to carry out the job as a developer sales force. So that is the job of the agency firm in the developer sales sector. And public can directly buy from developer without the agency firm. That is never a story actually cook out to blur your vision as to why Negotiator makes so much money from the developer firm. Developer firm, even if they have their own sales team are also well paid by them. So that is not the situation of discussion that the negotiator can directly handle the job as a real estate agent. So this is what I want to ensure that most who do not understand the reason behind the job being regulated, the job of negotiator being regulated. So future challenges actually is beyond this, beyond the individual person. If you think of it, the online system of bus ticketing, actually you do not need to queue at the bus stand. There is no hard copy ticket now. You can board a plane or board a train as well as boarding a bus without a physical ticket. Everything is in online system in the QR code, and therefore it does actually cause a scary scenario. The scary scenario is that they do not need the train conductor, the bus conductor, or the airplane ground officer anymore, because everything is automated by the internet related IT infrastructure. So book online, stress-free, and you even more gets special offers. So all this is coming into estate agency practice as well. Maybe one day everybody buys their product, buys their listing from the website of the agency firm without having to talk to any negotiator. So if that day comes, then whoever who has better service on the website setting and the call center setting would be a winner. So that is something I want to highlight to you. Online bus ticketing booking system is an example of how things will change for estate agency practice into the future. My conclusion is that the job of a negotiator is regulated and the industry is regulated because they worry about misleading advertisement, all kinds of scam in the public. You can search and verify the negotiator, the estate agency firm, the registered estate agent by doing the search at lpps.gov.my. You check their telephone number, registration number, public can verify. This I have done in a series before. Go back to my video before to see how to verify. Then in this particular video taking, I use the example of bus ticketing to show to you that why estate agency firm is regulated, why this industry, the estate agents are regulated, and the negotiators really need to understand the reason of the regulation. And they are also faced with the situation that one day maybe there is an online system that would replace all this human-to-human interaction. So at the end, for the good of the profession and also for the cost of the transaction, safety and prevention of fraud. Thank you for coming in. Before I end the presentation, I just want to briefly go through my platforms. I have the 4 platforms here. E-learning system for the board examination, the estateagentexam.com. Advertising platforms, actually 2 of them, contract2you.com and findway.info. Contract2you.com is IPI index comparison between properties, and findway.info is actually a website, a platform for estate agent as well as other types of agents and specialists, service specialists. So we call it a geo-linking of businesses under a network of service specialists. And I have my videos all collected under my Real Property Online. Thank you for coming to my channel. I'm Thomas Sim, PA2066. This is my mobile number. I have my website URL on display here. Thank you again.